I bet you were thinking you've seen the last of me. Unfortunately, the joke is on you, because I'm back with another vid. And I'm trying to remember... Oh, they're right here. I'm back with another CD video, okay? Y'all loved the last one down, so this is me coming back to you with some of my most favorite CDs. I think we did 7 in the last video, and I have 7 here. So, this is the stack, this is the lineup. This is more so turning into a go over my CD collection with me, but I'm basically starting the increments with my favorite CDs, slash albums, slash designs, slash, if you will. So let's get into it. First of all, from this pile, Slaughter's Stick It To You. Also, I'm a bit congested, just pretend like that's not happening. Slaughter's Stick It To You. I feel like when we discuss the peak of early 90s, late 80s hair metal, you have to talk about Slaughter, because what they were doing was just so good. They had the formula down. I don't understand when people leave like the Slaughter deep cuts out of the conversation. A lot of the times it's all about, you know, Fly to the Angels and stuff like that, and that's great. That's a great song, beautifully crafted. Desperately, great song. Gave Me Your Heart is my favorite song on this album, by the way. Up All Night obviously is a classic. Like, so many good songs from Slaughter. Not even just the first album. I love the second album as well, but I don't have that on CD, so this album, love it so much. And aside from just content of the album, this cover, I love this cover. It's one of my absolute favorites. I believe this is Lori Carr on the cover. She was with Robin Crosby for a period of time, a stint, if you will. It is just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. They really nailed the aesthetic with this whole, like, you know, kind of like evil madness sort of thing that they were going for. Really fits for the name, for their look, for everything. Great album, great design, bravo work for Slaughter. Another record I want to talk about here, Britney Fox's debut album. When we discuss 80s hair metal, Britney Fox, I feel like, often gets swept under the rug for some reason. They're mainly just regarded as the girl school band, and as much as I want to agree with you, I just can't, because there is more to them. Boys in Heat was also a good record. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that correctly. That was also a good record. There's some hits on that one. But this album is very, very well done. Girl School, great song. Long Way to Love, great song. Save the Week is beautiful. I like Fun in Texas. That's a fun little jam. Definitely was listening to that when I was in Texas. I took a vacay down there not too long ago. Goodbye to Jane, In America, Long Way to Love. Like, there are tons of good songs on this record. And aside from just general content, I have to give credit to this cover. I can't remember who photographed this. Was this Mark Weiss? I can't remember for some reason. I'm pretty sure it was, because he has a very distinctive style. They are really embodying that 80s-esque, and I eat it up every single time. This is literally what I wanted to be when I was 15, and I still admire the fashion so much. I am such a deeply devoted 80s era person, if you will. Yeah, I still love the 80s era, and honestly, just like seeing their fashion, it just like makes me feel such a deep connection to the era. So every time I look at this album cover, I'm so appreciative of the time, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. Come on, you just can't go wrong. It's just so 80s-esque. It's beautiful. Also, I feel like the members, like the soul components of this band, all great individually as well. I mean, Dizzy Davidson, vocals just out of this world, unlike anything I've personally heard. I know a lot of people compare him to Tom Kiefer of Cinderella, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really see the comparison for a long time. I was totally missing it. I thought they sound completely different, and now that I've, you know, been able to distinguish between the two a little bit more, I can see the similarities. I can. But I still think that Dizzy Davidson had this complete uniqueness to him that no one else really could replicate at that time. again, like, I feel that way about all these guys, truly. I mean, Michael Kelly Smith, he was great. Yeah, love this record. And the cover, of course. Next up, I wish I could properly tell all of you watching, whoever you may be, how deeply personal I feel about White Lion. Oh, I could get emotional. I love them so much. There is something so magnetic about White Lion. When you listen to a White Lion song, it is so clear and evident that they poured their soul into it. It is so clear and evident that they are passionate about their craft. It is so clear and evident that they loved this music down. I cannot say enough good things about White Lion, so that is why this album is in this video. It is one of my most favorite pieces from White Lion. It's probably my second favorite White Lion album. I definitely have a soft spot in my heart for Pride a little bit more, but Big Game is really good. If My Mind Is Evil, I love that song. I love Dirty Woman. I love Going Home Tonight. There are just tons of good songs on this album. And I feel like now is a great time to mention that Vito Bratta is my all-time favorite guitar player and possibly my second all-time favorite musician. My first is Eric Bass of Shinedown, if you know Ball. I don't know. Maybe some of you do. Who knows? But Vito Bratta, words can't explain what Vito Bratta can do. It's not just his guitar playing. It's his writing. It's his soul. You can feel something when it has a Vito touch to it, if that makes sense. If you've listened to anything Vito has put out, you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain energy that he emits in his music, and it's so clear and evident. And honestly, all of the guys in White Lion, they are just such good components separately. I mean, Greg D'Angelo, great. James Lomenzo, great. Vito, great. Mike Tramp, great. All great. So you're talking about a band with 4 guys who are all so good at what they do. It makes complete sense to me that they release, you know, a generational run of like, what, 3 to 4 albums. We're talking their debut, I think that was Fight to Survive, Pride, Big Game, and then what, Main Attraction, if I'm not mistaken. Love this album, and especially their photos in here are just so great. Like, the pure 80s like portrait style that they've got going on here that they chose to do. They chose to go a little bit more serious with it, and I love it. I really do. I think it fits, and overall aesthetic of this album is pretty nice, so I'm a fan. If you know me but at all, you know that this was going to make it into a video at one point. Poison's debut album changed lives, mine included. I believe I was, God, how old was I? I think I was 13 when I first heard songs off of this record specifically. Because growing up, I had only ever known the hits from Open Up and Say Ah, which rightfully so. I mean, that album is just full of amazing songs, but I was not familiar with anything from Look What the Cat Dragged In. And if I can recall correctly, I believe I was 13 and I was in my bedroom and I had clicked on a song from this record. I'm about 99% sure it was Talk Dirty to Me. I pressed play on that and I'm pretty sure my life was changed forever. And same thing with I Want Action. So I believe it was one of those two I had pressed play for the very first time, and I just remember thinking, where has this been all of my life? This is quite literally changing me as I'm listening to it. Felt very strongly about that, and I still do. I still feel very strongly about Poison. They are so near and dear to my heart, and this album is one of the most beautiful records aesthetic-wise. I absolutely love this cover. It's just groundbreaking. It is. In my personal opinion, it is. Because at this time, they were so full-blown into the glam that no one was expecting that. No one was expecting to see these dudes dressed up completely like chicks. I mean, completely. I mean, it's just fabulous. It is just fabulous. And it stands the test of time. These songs, to me, still sound fresh. They still do. I'm a huge fan of everything, pretty much everything that Poison has put out, and honestly their look as well. I love the fact that they were doing the sequins and the pink frosted lipstick and the feathers and all that. I mean, wonderful. Love it so much. This record is so overall great. Can't even tell you. Moving on, I have 3 more CDs to talk about here, and moving on, I think we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna switch it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nickelback's Get Rollin'. Anybody watching this video, I'm sure you are somewhat familiar with the recent music Nickelback has been putting out, and this is that right here. This is their most recent work of art, and I remember when this dropped. What was it, 2022? 2022. I remember. I was so excited that Nickelback was dropping new music. I had been praying and hoping and wishing for a new album for like, what, 5 years at this point. Oh my god. Like, since they pretty much dropped their one before this, I was like, alright, I'm ready for the next one, give it to me. And this was it right here. I just remember listening to the singles from this album, and I was just like, oh my god, we are so back. We are so unbelievably back. Very, very much a fan of this album. There are some really great songs here. Skinny Little Missy, one of my favorite Nickelback songs ever. I love High Time. I love Vegas Bomb. Tidal Wave is amazing. There are just so many good songs here. And not to mention, the look of this CD is just so enticing. I mean, you see this in a store and you're like, whoa, I've got to pick that up. I love the color scheme. I love the aesthetic. Everything they did here, it just screams fun. And honestly, it just feels like these days, music isn't as fun as it used to be. So the fact that this is what they're doing, A+ in my book. And don't even get me started on this disc. Don't even get me started. This is so good. When are we going to bring this back? When are we going to bring looks like this back fully? Nickelback, you're doing it right. Big fan. Moving on, just want to say a quick RIP to John Sykes. Blue Murder. Blue Murder. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, maybe I don't know, but maybe some of you might be thinking this. Who the hell is Blue Murder? I'm about to tell you. Blue Murder was a project led by John Sykes. If you don't know John Sykes, formerly of Whitesnake fame and others, but predominantly to me, Whitesnake. This record is just so interesting to me because the sound of Blue Murder, I feel like, is something entirely in its own category. I don't even know if I could really say that this is like hair metal per se. I don't think I can. It's more so kind of like it strikes me as more of like groovy rock almost. There's something so distinct about it, and that's what I love about it, truly. And this is a beautiful CD. I love the blue-esque that they've got going on here. That's lovely. I think the cover might be a little mid. Just a little bit, but I mean the photos here with the blue, so beautiful. I love the overall aesthetic that they've got going on here. This is just a really like aesthetically pleasing CD, and that's very important to me. So that and the fact that there are some pretty good songs on here, and I'm just a big John Sykes fan, that is why I decided to discuss this specific CD in this video. Very good stuff. Very good. For my last CD of this video, I feel like I just can't help but talk about Tesla's Mechanical Resonance. There's something so inherently good about this record. I don't even know if I could tell you how many times I've listened to it all the way through. I've said this once before, I will say it again. Tesla's Mechanical Resonance sounds as fresh as it did back then as it does now. It is just so good sounding. It holds up. It stands the test of time. Everything that they did here just screams classic hard rock, classic 80s rock, just classic all around. It just screams good upfront rock and roll. I love this album, and I am blessed enough to own it twice. I can't really remember. Actually, that's a lie. I believe this copy was from my uncle. I inherited, actually, if you're wondering about my insanely, ridiculously large CD collection, I inherited I inherited most of this collection from my uncle when he passed away a couple of years ago. He was my absolute best friend. We talked music all the time, so it was kind of a no-brainer that I would be the person that would take on his CD collection. So I believe this one comes from him. I could be wrong. It would be insane to me if he didn't own it, so I'm pretty sure that was from him. This one is from me. I bought this. It still has a sticker on there, and this one feels heavier for some reason, and I don't know why. Maybe we should like remedy that. What the? Don't you just love when that happens? It's just like broken. Why does this one feel so much heavier? I think it's just a difference in the material, because this is like thinner looking and this one is not. I don't know. Either way, Tesla's Mechanical Resonance. I own this twice. The colors here, just absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I mean, if I saw this and I wasn't aware of what the material was, like in a record store or something, I would pick it up and I would read about it because the colors are just so enticing. I love this photo of them on the back. This is not a talked about enough photo. That is perfect. That is just so well done. It fits the theme so well. Either way, I want to take a look at the inner sleeve here. Oh, it's like boring. Okay, but that's honestly, that fits. A boring inner sleeve for this record fits the album content so much because the album content is so good. It's so good. You don't need anything drastic on the inside sleeve or anything like that, inside booklet, whatever, because the music is going to speak for itself. It is so unbelievably good. Tesla, I'm a big fan. This is probably my favorite Tesla. Actually, this is my favorite Tesla record. They have other great records, obviously, but this is a no skip for me. I love this album. Folks, I think our time has come to an end. That was the second video edition of me tackling my ginormous CD collection. I also want to say a quick thank you because the first video of this series got over 1,000 views. That is my first ever YouTube video. I got over 1,000 views. I cannot believe that. I feel like this is going to be a great thing. I'm finding my audience of people who love the same type of music that I do, since mine is a very cohesive blend of a lot of different subgenres of rock. I sincerely hope that these have been enjoyable to watch, and honestly, if you want to watch more of me talking about music or posting in the style, whatever, I do a lot of that on my socials, TikTok and Instagram, and I always put them below, so check me out there as well. Anyways, until next time, I cannot thank you enough for watching and sticking around. Peace and love, stay safe, don't do anything dumb out there.